And if you look at Matthew 22 verse 39, Amplified Classic, it says, and a second is like it. It says, you shall love your neighbor as you do yourself. The reason why many persons never admire other people because they never first love themselves.
True.
You can never admire other people until you admire yourself. Self-admiration will always lead you to admire people. So when you don't admire yourself, you look at yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't even look, you don't have an understanding of love. And you will never know how to love people. The reason why you see some people as counselors, you meet people who have low self-esteem, they suffer from complexity. And by the time we search, God, we don't just dig on the fruits, we look at the roots. What's bringing this? By the time you talk with these persons, you find out that many years ago, their parents were always calling them names. And they grew like that, hearing voices in their head saying, you are ugly, you are nothing, you are dull, and all of that. And by the time you're clacking them, you realize that they don't appreciate themselves. And when you're talking about love, say, what's love? Does love exist? It's not their fault. You know why? They don't love themselves. It is how much of yourself you have loved that you can love your neighbor.
That's true.
So when you haven't loved yourself enough, you cannot have enough love to love your neighbor. That's how it works. It's just a natural law.
So as a single guy, I dated a girl before I met my wife. So I remember when I was going to meet that girl, and I can tell you the reason why the relationship scattered, because I did not appreciate myself. I'm telling you. I remember when I was going to ask her out. Oh, God of mercy. So what I did was that, I don't know if we have guys like that in my shoes here. I wrote all my points in my palm, that I was going to see when I get there. So I started cramming it. You are the joy of my heart. You are the this, you are that, you are this. Because they told me that if you need to catch a girl, you need to woo a girl, you need to throw some rhymes. I'm not good at that. Ucholi is very good at that. Amen? So I put everything in my palm. Then I went to go and see her. But when I got there, I started sweating. I was sweating profusely. I was sweating to the point that the sweat cleaned all my points, all my key points in my hand. So she asked me finally, I said, okay, so why are we here? I said, Anna. He said, oh, he says something. I know there's something in your heart. Say it. I said, you see, okay, I'll come back. And that's how I left. Then finally, I now wrote it on a piece of paper. And I said it to her. In her presence, she was over there, I was clear. And that's how I started one stupid relationship. Even in relationship, I did not appreciate myself. I felt I wasn't good enough to be in a relationship. She had a lot of guys around her. I just felt that those people were better off. I'm not a better person and all those stuff. I was this very serious Christian on campus, that used to wear multicolored clothes and all. So when I see these other guys on jeans and all, I'm like, oh God, these people are far better. They are more deserving. I didn't know that those negative stuff was the reason why the relationship parted. So when we parted, I needed to sit down to have a review of my life. And I asked myself, what really is my problem? I realized that I was suffering from low self-esteem. And I need to start learning how to appreciate myself. So I decided to take time to build myself, learn to interact with people, learn to build confidence in myself, and learn to start appreciating myself before I met my wife. And that took me like 7 years. So when I met my wife, in short, she knew. She said that, I grew to the point that in my church now, 7 years after, they were calling me Minister of Women Affairs. Oh God, I'm good. I'm telling you, I'm good. I became so good. Because I loved myself. You don't need to compliment me again. So I don't go sit with a lady or sit with anybody and I feel intimidated.
It's true.
So I appreciated myself.
I'm telling you, even with those his coats he was wearing then, he was like... He was feeling like the most handsome guy then in church.
I'm telling you, amen. So when I went to meet my wife, despite the fact that she was fine, my wife had traveled out of the country. I've never entered plane in my life.
Yeah.
I was squatting in my pastor's house. Those are enough reasons to kill myself, to kill me. I'm telling you, amen. She was already working. She was an accountant in a firm. I was in my pastor's house and I was squatting in my pastor's house. And I still had boldness. Yeah. Where did it come from? I've learned to appreciate myself.
True.
And I went to go and meet her. I said, baby, I'm not going to say I ask her because I'm selling that key point. Meet me privately, it's 10,000 naira. All singles is 10,000 naira. You want to know the key point. Because it took her 3 days. The words were so powerful that it took her 3 days for her to give me a yes. This is what I have been laboring for years. Sweating, writing key point in my hand. Build your confidence. True. Learn to appreciate yourself. It will be easy to express that which comes from your heart. True. You must love yourself. True. Always tell yourself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. This is the best creation God has ever made. Nobody can turn me down. I mean, he got to that, but I said, then, oh God, as a single person, I said, there is no girl we ask out now that will turn me down. That was confidence. So when okay, this is the one, okay. You see, Willie, she's like, she's, how do you call it? She didn't make younger way. How do you say it? And that time, she'll be for me, in church. I said, God has said she's my wife. We go, we move. I said, I cannot disappoint God. Sometimes God has told you that person is your wife, but you are the one disappointing God. You can't talk. You are looking down at yourself. I went to go and meet her. I said, baby, I want to say it now. Take your pen and paper. I said, baby, don't look at my condition. I know you're wondering why I'm squatting in pastor's house. You're wondering why I don't have a car. I know there are a lot of guys that have cars and everything that are around you. I know they are telling you words. But you see, bullshit those words. You see me? I love you so much and I mean it. And I was saying it and I was looking at her eyes. Not, I love you so much and I mean it. No, I love you so much and I mean it. If you give me a chance for me to be your husband, I will take you around the world. I said, think about these words, okay? So when are you giving me my answer? She said, it won't penetrate. He said, so stop. When the lady says stop, it has penetrated. Say stop. I said, no. It's not about stop and everything. I'm very serious. I want to get married to you in a year time. How can I marry in a year time? No job. I'm squatting by pastor's house. So much confidence and faith. I said, we don't have time. We're getting married. She said, okay, just give me time. Just give me a week. I'm telling you, 2 days after, she was already calling me. Oh, yes, please. 2 days, you reduce the time. Okay, 3 days. 2-3 days, no difference. 24 hours difference. Oh, yes, so it's where are you? She couldn't sleep. She was thinking about me all through. Amen. Then I finally showed up and she was one that was not shy. I said, say it. Say it. Yes. I said, come hug me. Praise the name of the Lord. Hallelujah. You need to build your confidence. Yeah. I mean, you need to build your confidence. You build your confidence by appreciating yourself.
So in other words, self-confidence is actually more sexy than how you look and what you wear.
That's true.
Number 2.
So sorry, let me talk to couples here who God has given dreams to and vision to. You know, certain times God can give us dreams and vision as couples, and we do not appreciate that which God has given to us. We try to look at other couples or other people who are doing ministry, and we try to rate our ministry based on what they are doing, and we just feel that we are not doing enough. Maybe God has given you a vision or a dream, and you are underrating it. You do not know how powerful that thing is. You know, if God has given you that vision, you must take it with so much love. You must love it. You must protect it. You must blind your eyes from what people are saying and how people see you. I remember when we started the Winlos 2013 October. You know, that was when we shot our first skit. So when we shot that skit, we put it up online. So we had already planned our vision that we're going to be acting skits based on relationship and marriage. Everything was set. So we opened our YouTube channel. We put our first video online. So when we put it online, we started calling our family members to come and watch. None refused to watch. None. I called. 24 hours later, we had 2 views. I made that views was maybe me and my wife. Amen. Nobody watched. So I had to force some of my friends. I sent it to them. Not now that data is cheap. You know how that data was gold then. So I forced them to watch it. And these two guys watched the skits and they called me back. One called me back and said, man, he said, hey! I said, what is it? What do you have to say? He said, man, why you and your wife go just the fool on herself? Una just stay as big as una dey. Una just the art skits, they fool on herself. Una no get wetin una want to do with una life. He said, for me, my advice, stop it. Don't do it. I said, okay. I called the second one. The second one called me and said, yeah, I watch it. It's just there, you know. But my advice for both of you is this. I think you and your wife will be better off behind the camera. You can get people that can be acting so that while you guys are behind the camera. Those were the first two advice we got in our ministry. That was 2013. 10 years after, this is where we are. We are global. Listen, what we are saying is this: you must appreciate that vision which God has given to you. Yeah. There are some of you, God has given you ministries. He has given you what it takes to change your world, but you are still comparing it with others. You are listening to what people are saying. You know, it is good that you hold it dear to yourself. Always talk about it in the mirror where you are and say, this is what God has told us to do. When those people were done, we started shooting skits for 1 year plus. The highest view we had was 15 views. 1 year plus 15. It grew again to 32. We had only one person that would call us back and say, man, you guys are doing well. That guy was our main fan. We didn't care what anybody was saying until God told me to marry you. School now went viral. And the dynamics changed. Listen, you must appreciate that which God has given to you. You must. Don't talk it down. Don't look at that vision down. Don't throw it behind the corner and say it's not working. And many times when we say it's not working, it's because we are listening too much to what people are saying.